Hey Katie, how are you?
Hey, Kenny, I'm good. How's it going?
Doing well, doing well. It's one of my favorite parts of the year. Yes, it's October. It's not just because it's possibly getting a little cooler outside, possibly leaves changing, but I think it's one of the best sports parts of the year. You've got NFL in full swing, college football in full swing. Baseball's in the playoffs, college basketball's around the corner, NBA's around the corner. But we're not going to talk about any of those right now. Oh, and I can't forget, soccer leagues are heading towards the end of their season as well. We're not going to talk about any of those this week. We're actually going to talk about a little bit about what's on your shirt. Everyone watches women's sports because the big thing this week is the WNBA playoffs. So, what do
That's
you
right.
think? What do you think so far? The Aces are up 2-0 on the Phoenix Mercury. Is it in the bag already?
Yeah, I think nothing is for sure. We've got a good series ahead of us. I know that. It's a 7 game series, so we've got a long way to go here. Can they keep it up? We'll see. But there's a lot of chaos in the league too, even just outside the playoffs. But I think actually what we're seeing in the WNBA is really a lot different than what we've seen in any other league. We actually had one of the top players in the league, Nafisa Collier, actually go out and give a press statement that said, "We have the worst leadership in the world."
That is infuriating. And it's the perfect example of the tone deaf, dismissive approach that our leaders always seem to take. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
Everyone I talk to right now, I tell them there is more drama happening in the WNBA right now than all of Bravo. Bravo. The Housewives can't compete with what's going on in the WNBA.
Wow. Well, that's great. I mean, not great, honestly, unless you're a fan of drama. But you mentioned she said we have some of the worst leaders in the world. I assume that's like sports leaders because there's some guys in DC that I think are pretty bad. And what else are you watching besides the WNBA?
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting because right now we have a WNBA league that's at the top of popularity. It's never been more popular, and we've got players who are saying that there are refs basically asleep at the wheel. And normally, as a player, you're trying to figure out how can I be the best player, be the most aggressive, and be the toughest to win a game, but without breaking the rules. That's the whole idea. But actually in the WNBA, what we're seeing is the opposite. The players themselves are saying they're having to figure out how to break the rules to win the game. And yeah, it's a lot like what we're seeing in DC. We have a president who is breaking rules left and right. He's ignoring the courts, he's ignoring Congress, and just doing whatever he wants. And kind of like the WNBA, creating a lot of unnecessary chaos and a lot of pain.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen over the weekend. Obviously, there was. I don't even know how to describe what happened in Chicago, but we saw some things happening in Chicago. Obviously, he wants to create a similar situation in Portland. He's trying to create it in a lot of different cities. As of this time of recording this, the federal government is still shut down. He's claiming that he can do a lot of things that he doesn't really have the power to do. And there's some checks and balances here and there, but really not as much as I think we've seen so far. And I hope that changes. I hope that folks in Congress really reassert their power of making budgets and setting laws. And I hope the courts, step in and that this balance of power that America is founded on really, really starts to reassert itself, not just one person deciding they can do whatever they want. In the same fashion, the WNBA, I'm sure we're going to come all of this is a lot of positioning for the off season and the collective bargaining agreement. And hopefully we can get a WNBA where things, not just the officiating, but revenue sharing and all that other stuff is more equitable and balanced as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like, we're seeing leadership in sports, in the government, in politics that that is just has a complete disregard for the rules, but you're really seeing people kind of get sick and tired of it and uh, push back a little bit. In the WNBA, you're seeing the players make these really powerful statements and really kind of putting themselves at risk, putting themselves on the line, but for the greater good of the league and their fellow players, which is really admirable. And I think, the same thing we're finally seeing Congress, they're getting a backbone, they're holding the line on this. There's not a lot of places where they have leverage, but they're saying this is a really corrupt government. This is all about power, and they're inflicting a lot of pain on people, and we're not going to fund them. We're not going to just sign the check for that. And I think we're really seeing the tide turn in a really good way.
Well, hopefully that is the case, and maybe the tide will turn in the Mercury's favor by the time this airs later in the week. It might be a closer series than the 2-0 that it is earlier in the week. So, anything else that you want to talk about or you're watching before we go?
No, I think that's it. I'm glued to the WNBA playoffs and can't wait to see how these go. We've got two really talented teams, and of course, keeping an eye on the shutdown and Common Cause will be keeping everybody informed and how you can get involved and respond.
Okay, always great to catch up with you, Katie.
Good to catch up with you, Kenny. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.